What's up guys, Evan Hartzel here with ATV on Demand. Welcome to the next season of Quad Builder. Today HMF reached out to us to do a project on a bike. We've got a lot of other projects lined up for this winter, so stay tuned and see what we've got. Today we're going to be building the YFZ450R, the most popular bike for cross country and motocross. We're going to be doing more of a cross country build today. This is my personal race bike. I'm leading the A-class points on it in the XCR series. We're over half the way through the race season, so today we're going to freshen it up and get it ready and make sure it's good for the next couple of rounds. When a lot of people think of HMF, they think of an exhaust company that also makes fuel modules, but they actually got a full line of hard parts for the YFZ450R and numerous other models. So today we're going to be throwing everything they make for it on the bike and go out and test it in a couple of weeks and tell you what we think. So we spent about 4 hours washing the bike yesterday after a big mud race. We didn't get everything, so we're going to touch it up with this Maxima Bio Wash and wipe it down and get it clean. So if you miss stuff when you're spraying the bike down, you can always just go back over it with this and a rag and clean up the stuff you missed. Stuff works pretty good. Getting your shine back, getting the dull finish going. It even smells good too. A couple things on this bio wash. We soaked this radiator hose in it and wiped it down and scrubbed it. This thing usually gets stained pretty good. Brought it back to white. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. So I've got two race bikes. I've got this bike, which is a fully built race bike, and I've got a stock YFZ450X that I race. I've actually won a lot of races on it too, but this one's just a little bit more comfortable. You don't need all this stuff to go out and run a cross-country race. Up front we got a Hartzel, long travel A-arms, axis shocks, precision stabilizer. I would run that on any bike I ride. It's really going to save you from breaking your wrist. It's really going to make the ride a lot more enjoyable. I run flex bars. They really help with fatigue. I'm coming back. I've got a revalve rear shock by FTR Powersports. And then we go down a little bit lower on the swing arm. I've got a dual chain guard to help me from hitting the rocks and destroying my chain. But if you're running a tough terrain like Sunstar, you don't have to worry too much. This is a really good chain. Most of the guys on the Pro Row run them. We've got an up case saver. It's going to save you from busting your case if your chain pops off. That's a must-have. We go a little bit further back and we've got a LS4 rotor guard to protect your braking rotor. But other than that, most of the bike's stock frame. We've got a Vortex ECU. We've got a 24-volt system to get a little bit quicker starts. So this is my race bike. All right, we're gonna get this show on the road. We're gonna start ripping some parts off, start bolting some new stuff on. So I already run the HMF headlight block off plates, so we're going to throw a new set on them and show you how to do it. So as you saw, the pipes kind of corroded on there. Cross-country racing, you get a lot of water and mud. So we're going to grab some of this Maxima multi-purpose penetrant lube. We're gonna spray the pipe down, we'll be able to get it off really easy. And as you just saw, with a couple seconds of waiting, tapping on it with a hammer, it came right out. Use the right product, you don't have to tear up your stuff. So first we're going to install the headlight block off plates. These are just going to give your bike a cleaner look after you take your headlights off. They're also going to keep mud from collecting back inside the bike by the gas tank. Come with an instruction kit, some stickers to throw on your bike. Now we're going to install the HMF grab bar. If you notice on the box it says Made in America. That's important to us, and that's what we run here at ATV On Demand. Instruction kit, hardware, more stickers, fender mounts. Flag holder on the grab bar. Alright, when you're installing the grab bar, you're going to want to put just a dab of Loctite on your your 4 bolts. You don't need a lot, just a dab. I use the orange thread locker. It's a little bit stronger than the blue, and it's still removable with hand tools. And you really want to make sure you Loctite these, because with the exhaust right there, your subframe's rattling and it can come loose, and that would be a bad day. So we got the grab bar all mounted up, fit great, didn't have to tweak it or anything. It's made out of lightweight aluminum, so it's not going to add any weight to your bike. Really the only thing we could ask for on this is a number plate bracket for racing. We're going to go ahead and install the rear taillight block off plate. It's made out of the same material aluminum as the front headlight block off plate, so it's not going to add any weight to your bike. Gives you a really clean look, gets rid of that tail light. You don't need that when you're racing. Got your instructions, some more stickers, 2 push pins to mount to your existing electrical box, and then you'll run your factory bolts in through the top. And these are threaded in the top, so they're going to be really sturdy, and then you put your push pins through here into your factory location. This rubber grommet piece actually goes in the cutout here where your wiring harness will go through to your ECU, so that it is not rubbing on your ECU and cutting your harness. Keeps your harness safe. So you just press that on there, just the right size. You're good to go. From your factory grab bar, you're going to grab your grommets. It's just going to cut down the vibration. You just press these through. They're kind of a booger, but get one side through and start to go. So once you get them in, you'll get your bushing, your collar. You put that on. Grab your plate. Line your holes up. Grab your plastic push pins. You go to your factory hole location on here, and you'll just press them in. So we got the rear of the quad all buttoned up with the HMF stuff. All this stuff took me probably 5 minutes to install. It's real simple. Everything bolted up nicely. I didn't have to do any modifications. Overall, it's a really nice product. So here we got the HMF heel guard and foot peg combo. A lot of guys in cross country run the heel guards over the Nerf bar simply for the fact you get stuck. You slide into a tree, you can put your feet down and push yourself back. Some guys like to run Nerf bars for the whole shot. It's just rider preference, whatever you like. But HMF sent us some, so we're going to put them on and see what we think. Foot pegs, nets, instructions, and mounting hardware. So we got the heel guards here and unboxed, unwrapped. These are made out of aluminum. They're really lightweight, but they seem pretty durable. They've got slits for all your nets to go through. Real nice powder coated finish. I'm gonna come over here to the pegs. They're also powder coated the same color. They're really nice, really sharp. They got the angle here so you can hang your foot off the side and your boot's not gonna slip off and you're not gonna run over your foot. They come with all the mounting hardware you'll need, then you'll just use your stock OEM stuff on the rest. So on your stock YFZ450R, you're not going to have the stud sticking out. What I did there was run a piece of 1/2 inch B7 all thread all the way through the frame so that I could get a better grip. I was having trouble with these coming loose even after Loctiting them. So this just gives me a little more confidence that my foot peg's not going to come loose. So what you're going to do is you're going to put a little bit of Loctite on here on the stud, and then you're going to get the supplied steel spacers, slide them on, and you go ahead and put your foot peg on, slide that there, your washer, and just leave that loose, and then you're going to get your other bolt, put some more Loctite on it. Slide that up with your spacer behind it. And what this spacer does is leave room so your rear brake pedal clears. So you'll have room. So you want to grab your outer foot pegs. You want to make sure your skid plate, the closed off part on the bottom of the peg, is facing towards the front of your ATV. You'll grab these with the Allen head bolts they supplied, put a washer on them, slide them through there, slide one through here. You're just going to leave them loose for now because your rest of your heel guard is going to bolt to here. We're going to go ahead and take off this master cylinder guard just so we can put the heel guards on there, and we're not going to reuse this, so just go ahead and take that off. Alright, we're going to go ahead and install the heel guard itself. Just push on these bolts, that'll hold it there. And then we're going to use this factory mounting hole in the master cylinder here. And you want to make sure you Loctite all these. So what we're going to do, put a little bit of Loctite on our master cylinder bolt. And we're just going to leave that loose for a second until we get everything else bolted up. Now we're going to go ahead and install the bolts in the back of here. And we'll scoot them out a little bit. Now these are the Nylock nuts, so you don't need Loctite on these. You can if you want. but it's not necessary. Get them on there, and you'll grab your bolt took off earlier. A little dab of Loctite on there, and you'll mount that up on here. Might have to push it a little bit. Now you can go ahead and tighten all your bolts down once you've got everything in and lined up. In order to get the bolts perfectly lined up, I had to loosen these top two bolts up a little bit and pull the heel guard back to clear this weld, but other than that, they fit up great. Now that we got the heel guard all tightened up and mounted, we're gonna go ahead and start putting the nuts in, and they give you this little bolt here to hold it in place while you tighten it up. So we'll just go with a washer on top and a washer on bottom with a nut. You can leave that loose for the time being, and then we'll start weaving our nuts in. We're going to go ahead and show you how to put a net through. So you come through the top here, and they're kind of tricky, but come through the top, you'll go back through the bottom, and then you're going to push it back through the top. So you're kind of making an S. Then you'll pull them tight, and you just get all these lined up where way you want them, tightness wise. And then you'll tighten down this bolt here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and unbox the HMF exhaust they sent us and see what we got in here. Got an instruction kit, exhaust clamp, and some hardware, some spacers for the exhaust. Alright guys, we just unboxed the HMF Performance Series exhaust. This thing's really pretty. I don't even want to run it. It's so nice. They got the blacked out tip on it with the oval tip. It's got the spark arrestor in it still, but that'll be coming out because we live in America, not California. We got the blacked out badge. This mid pipe here is blacked out, ceramic coated, and the header is also ceramic coated black. It's really just going to help with discoloring. We're really going to put it through the test, racing cross country with this thing, and see how it does. We're going to leave these loose for now until we get the can on there and get it perfectly where we want it. So you're going to slide your clamp on before you put your silencer on, and we'll grab the supplied hardware. You're going to Loctite these onto your subframe, and you're going to put the spacers in between the exhaust and the frame. So I'm going to run the factory OEM hardware instead of what they sent, just because these are flange bolts and they look a little bit better on the bike. So we just got the exhaust back on. This thing looks sweet. One thing you want to do besides Loctite and everything is this is a good time to just go ahead and throw a new exhaust gasket, a little copper gasket inside there. Just a good preventive maintenance thing. So we got the pipe on. This thing sounds awesome. Whenever you're putting a pipe on your bike, you're going to need to address the fuel management system. I personally run a Vortex, which is about $800 part. There's much more affordable options. HMF sells a programmer, or you can also get your stock ECU reflashed by companies like PEP. You can do something like that, but you just need to get it addressed whenever you put a pipe on your bike. So next we're going to move on to our graphics done by FTR and get this quad looking good. To prep this frame here, we hit it with some Maxima Bio Wash and degreased it. Then we're going to go back over it with some alcohol. Usually we use contact cleaner for something like this, but we didn't have any in the shop today, so alcohol worked just fine. So just pour a little bit on a rag, and we're going to wipe the frame down. So FTR did the graphics for this build. These are really nice quality graphics. They're thick. They got a nice shine to them, and they're going to look really good on the bike. So since some of the plastic's going to overhang on the frame, we're going to go ahead and get the graphics on the frame before we start doing the plastics. So we got a bottle of water here with about 2 drops of Dawn dishwashing liquid. We're going to spray this graphic down, spray the frame down. We can move the graphic wherever we want it. You're not going to get this thing too wet, and you'll be able to put the graphic exactly where you want it and squeegee the rest out. Give it about a day to dry and you're good to go. So we use the hair dryer for any curves in the frame to heat up the graphic and get it to adhere a little bit better. I had this frame powder coated at the beginning of the season, and after 8 or 9 races, this frame's wore down. If I would have run these graphics in the first place, my powder coat would have probably still been good for next year. Now that we got the frame done, we're going to move over onto the plastics and start getting them cleaned up and put some graphics on them, make them look sweet. Alright, so we're going to wipe down these radiator shrouds, just put them back on the bike. We're going to put the graphics on the radiator shrouds first because the front fender covers up most of it and you won't be able to get to it as easily. So once we get these on, we'll put the rest of the plastics on and we'll get to putting the rest of the graphics on. So we're going to start at the front of the bike, work our way around all the way to the back. There's no certain order you got to go in, but start here. 2 hours ago, this thing looked clapped out from a season of racing. But after we got these graphics on, this thing looks like it's ready to go and looks like a brand new bike. Couple more items to go, but we're going to throw the rest of these graphics on, and then we'll go to the next step. So it's been a really wet, rainy winter. So a lot of the tracks this year have been rutted out and they're just getting more out. And so we're going to go with a bigger tire setup with the GB3 Pros made by GBC. These tires are available in 20s and 21s in the rear, 21s and 22s in the front. So we're going to go a little bit bigger than what I normally run and see how we like it. So the GB3 tire is a really popular tire in the cross-country world. A lot of the guys I see at the cross-country course are running them. Walker Fowler's proven that they're a championship winning tire. Just all around really good. So we went with GPS wheels. These are a really good wheel. In cross country, you're going to need a beadlock wheel to hold your tire and keep it from busting your bead. What's unique about these wheels is we've got a lot of different brand test units here. So these have a bolt pattern for Yamaha and Honda, so we can change them around from bike to bike. They come with a aluminum ring here on the beadlock and aluminum wheel. You can also get a aluminum wheel with a carbon ring. And these rings are interchangeable through each of them. The rears we have are dual beadlock and the fronts are single beadlock. So we were up till about 9:30 the other night working on this thing. Pretty early on in the day we realized that we forgot to order the bumper. So we got a hold of HMF and they sent us a new one over. So we're going to go ahead and bolt that up and we're going to touch up a couple other things on the bike and we're going to be ready to go to the racetrack. So we got the HMF bumper here. HMF actually makes two versions of this bumper. One is a motocross version and one is the XC version. We went with the XC version because we're building a cross-country bike. So we're going to go ahead and unbox it and see what it looks like. So looking at this thing, it looks pretty awesome. It's light, aluminum, the welds look nice on it. It's got a built-in skid plate. One thing I've noticed over the years with the YFZ450R aftermarket bumpers is these sometimes interfere with the skid plate, so we're going to have to test that and see what it looks like once we bolt it on the bike. But overall, it's a really nice bumper, really nice finish, and make your quad look really good. You're going to want to make sure you Loctite these bolts so they don't rattle out. You don't want your bumper coming off mid-race. Fits perfectly with our full body skid plate, no interference there, which is nice on these YFZs because you got the square end of the frame rail right there. When you're digging in dirt, this will just glide right over it. So it's a really nice fit, bolted up good, so we're going to go ahead and tighten her down. So we just button this thing up. As you can see, HMF isn't just an exhaust company anymore. They make a full line of hard parts for a lot of makes and models, your YFZ450R, and they look awesome too. So for now, we're done with this. Next time you see us, we're going to be putting these parts to the test. So we'll see you on the next episode.